Hi guys, how are you all? Welcome back to Soulful Knowledge. So in my channel I'm posting regarding Kundalini awakening and spiritual awakening. So if you're interested in this, you can actually follow my channel. I'm actually posting in two languages, in Tamil as well as in English. So if you're wanted to follow only in English version, you can check my playlist, Soulful Knowledge English. Today I'm going to tell about why spiritual awakening is happening. So currently we know that there is a great shift, that is around the world there is a great shift happening. So people who are spiritually awakened, they will actually understand the shift is actually really happening right now. So many of them are talking about spiritual awakening, and they are actually sharing their experiences in their videos, so that it is actually useful for many other people who are actually going through this and who wanted to get the knowledge about spiritual awakening. Because of this thing, so even myself, I got the knowledge by people who have made videos of their experiences, so it helped me so much in my life. So because of that, I'm actually making all these videos regarding spiritual awakening. Today I'm going to tell about why this spiritual awakening is happening. There are like many reasons, like thousands of plus reasons are there. Like maybe that's to put an end for narcissism. So next, maybe there is a bigger shift, that is for like 5,000 years once there may be a bigger shift, like from night the day has begun, like that happening right now. Next is like, we all know that we live in a Kali Yuga. So in this Kali Yugam, maybe the Kali Yugam is time getting ended for Kali Yugam, and next shift is Dwapar Yugam is starting. So because of that also the spiritual awakening may occur. Next reason is maybe the feminine energies are all rising up. So the feminine role is becoming greater now. So that's why spiritual awakening is happening more for feminine nature. So there is actually masculine and feminine. I've already posted a video regarding masculine and feminine. You can actually check that. So all these things, what I've said about narcissism, all these things, if we have to talk about that, we have to go in depth. It is actually a separate subject, so it is very intense. We have to go in depth about that. But already I've spoke about narcissism, like of masculine and feminine energies, all that in a like little I've spoke about that. You can actually check those videos. So today actually I'm not going to enter into those topics. They are like complicated one. I'm not going to enter into that topic. So today mainly I'm going to tell about why spiritual awakening is happening. This I'm going to explain based on a comparison. So today I'm going to tell for people who actually don't understand about spiritual awakening. So there are many of them that still they are not spiritually awakened, but they are really curious about what is happening around the world. That in a very basic level I'm going to explain about the spiritual awakening, why it is happening. So this I'm going to explain with a comparison. So what I'm going to compare is that I'm going to compare with ourselves, that is our human body, with this world. So I'm going to compare our human body with this world. So with this comparison, I'm going to tell you how and why the spiritual awakening is happening, and why it is very much necessary for this world. So why this shift is very much important for our world to experience. So if you take a human body, we all know that a human structure is formed because of the cell formation, minute cell formation, because of the millions and billions of cells we have inside our body. Because of that functioning of the individual cell only, we are actually here as a human being, as a human body with a consciousness we are working on. The thing based behind this is because of that single minute micro cells. All these millions and billions of cells are working and coordinating together to actually function ourselves, to function each organs, to function our whole human system. So this we can understand that inside us we have a small tiny cell, and it is actually doing its job so that we can able to function as a human being. So not only us, for everything, maybe like plants, animals, microorganisms, viruses, bacteria, everything, the minute cell has an job and it's as a purpose for it, so it's functioning its purpose. So that's how we are actually formed. We all know that the cell has some purpose. It actually knows what it has to do and it's actually doing its purpose. Suppose if a cell does not having any purpose in our body, definitely as an evolution what happen is it will get neglected or it will get disappeared. So it will not come in the evolution, it will not again come to our body because it does not has any purpose. So this we can understand with an example. We all know that Darwin's evolution theory. So what they are telling is in Darwin's evolution theory that we all human beings have evolved from monkeys. So if you see monkeys, it has tail, but human being does not have a tail. So as a human being stood up, when the vertebrate became straight, the need for tail is actually erased or cut off. So that's why in the evolution what happened, the necessity for the tail was not there. That's why the tail was actually disappeared or actually went off as the evolution for human beings. So this we have evidence. So the presence of tail we have evidence because there is a tailbone actually present in our human body. So why I am telling this is, so everything, every cell in our body is present for a specific reason, for a specific purpose. Suppose if it does not have a purpose, in the evolution what will happen is it will get disappear or eradicated. So this what happens. So every single cell is very necessary in our human body and it has its unique purpose. So let's say we have like muscles, we have bones, we have blood tissues, we have other different form of cells. So each cell is actually very unique. It is very different from each group of cells. So it has its own work. That is a heart. In the heart cell, that cell have to help for the pumping of the blood or purification of the blood. So in the lungs, the cell, it's actually helping to get in the oxygen. So in this way, each cell has its own purpose. It may be different. So we all know that unity in diversity. So the cells present in a body is so much of diverse, we can tell. But even though it is diverse, it is working and coordinating together to form in unity, so that we as a human being has formed as a group of all these billions of cells, so that we are getting the consciousness and we are walking as a human body. Now you would have understood that how each cell is working inside a body and why it is very important for the formation of human body. So without these cells, there is actually no human body itself. So this is actually the main comparison. So why I am telling about this is, now I am going to compare ourselves, our human body, to this world. So let's say like ourself, like a human body, this world or earth itself like a whole structure. Think this world has a human body, and inside this world there are so much of living things like human beings, animals, plants, fishes, bacteria, viruses, all these things, even non-living things are there. But everything is a part of this world. How a single cell is inside a body and it has a purpose for us, in the same way each living being, we have billions of living beings inside the world. It is actually performing its purpose for the world to function as a whole. So how the cell is doing its purpose so that all the cells are coordinating together to make a human self. In the same way, in the earth or in the world, the things inside, that is the human life, maybe human life or non-living things or living things, everything has a cell and has a matter. So it is functioning together to form this world. So now you can understand the comparison between a human body and a world. So everyone has a purpose. Suppose in the world, if someone does not have a purpose, or some category of living being does not have a purpose, what happens is, as evolution, it will get erased or it will get disappeared. So this what happens. So nature has its own rule that if someone does not has a purpose, it will actually eradicate. So this what happens. So we all know that each cell in our body, it's doing its job. Now the biggest question is how that cell knows its job. So how it knows that it has to do only that specific task which is given to it. So how it gets that information, what it has to be done, from where it is getting. So if you see, as a human being, we have a consciousness and a subconscious mind. Even as a human being, like 90% subconscious mind only is working. So this is scientifically proven. Only 10% we are consciously deciding and we are consciously experiencing the environment around us. So 90% as a human being ourselves, we are working in subconscious mind. So in the same way, even the cell receives its consciousness in subconscious level. The cell receives its information. From where this information it's getting, how, if you see, there is a structure in our human body. There is a system to be followed. Because of this system, it is programmed in such a way that each cell has to follow its path. For example, we all know, already I have spoken about this chakras, all these nadis. So we all know that we have 72,000 nadis in our human body. So nadis is like the pulse junctions. So meeting of the nerves and pulse junctions, these are called nadis, and we have like 72,000 nadis in our body. So from all these cells are group of cells are actually getting the information, getting the signal from one of these nadis. So in these 72 nadis, few cell groups are connected to each nadi, and from this nadi the cell is getting the information what it has to be done. So that's how the cell is getting the purpose and it's doing its task. So now this nadi is actually further grouped like 9,000 nadis together to form 112 chakras. So these 72,000 nadis are further grouped like 9,000 are grouped together to form 112 chakras in our body. We all know that in Kundalini there are 114 chakras. So 112 is within our body and 2 chakras are outside the body. So in this 112 chakras are further divided into 7 chakras. So 16 chakras are grouped together, and this 16 chakras are assigned to one of the 7 chakras, major chakras in our body. So this only I have explained in Kundalini, all these chakras, about the 7 glands or 7 chakras in our body. The 7th chakra is pituitary gland, and this 7th chakra is known as the crown chakra, and this is actually known as the master gland or master chakra. So we all know that pituitary gland is like a master gland, and it actually sends the signals for other 6 glands or other 6 chakras present in our body. So that's how a master gland, which is in our crown chakra, is sending signal to other 6 chakras, so that it is getting the information from that, and from that it is actually sending to the other 112 chakras, and from 112 chakras it is actually sending to the nadis. The information is passed to the nadis, and from the nadis each cell is getting information. So this is what is happening. This is a human system. So what I've told right now is so much very important in our life. Maybe all these kundalinis, the chakras, the nadis, all these knowledges, maybe it has been disappeared through all these thousands of years, but again it's actually coming up. All these knowledges were actually stored, actually preserved carefully in our Indian systems. So these are known as the inner engineering of our body. So anyone who are aware of their kundalini, aware of their chakras and working, know how these chakras are working, how these nadis are working, they are actually kept their inner system under their control. Not only their body, even outside, the energies are spread outside. They can also keep the energies around them under their control. So a person who has controlled all the chakras and actually is a person who has the knowledge or control over himself and also which is happening around him. So that's how it is so important to know about the chakras. So already I explained about kundalini and the chakras in my previous video. You can actually check that. So now why I'm telling this is a human body has a system. So a cell has to follow the signal from the nadi, a nadi has to follow the signal from the chakras, and the chakras gets a signal from the master gland, that is master chakra. So this is how the functioning of the human body happens. So now you would have understood. Now suppose the cell, if the cell does not get the signal from the nadi, it does not know what its purpose. So what happens is, two things might happen. If the cell does not get any signal, what happens is the cell will not understand that it is working for the whole system, for the whole human body. It will never understand that. So it will think it has an individual. So what happens is it will take the control and it will create its own purpose. So what happens is it may get into reproduction or multiplying of the cells. It may actually cross its border and do many things. It may actually try to create a different new system under its control. So that's what happens if the cell does not get the signal to do what its purpose. It will create its own purpose and try to create a own world around it. It will never understand that it is working under a system. So what is these cells are only known as the cancer cells. We all know that the cancer cell is like the multiplications of cells. So the tumors and cancers, all these are the multiplications of the cell. What happens is to these cells, it does not actually follow the rules of the system. It actually behaves in a weird manner. So that is known as the cancer cell. So next thing is, another type is, suppose a cell does not get an information or purpose, it does not do anything, it stops its job, it stops its purpose. So suppose if a cell is in a heart, it has to do the purification, the blood exchange of the oxygen, it has to do that purpose. So it will stop doing that. So it will actually stop its function. So what happens is, slowly what happens is that cell will not get the signal and it will not do its job. Slowly other cells also will cut its signal and it will stop doing its job. In this way, what happens is the function of the organs will get stopped. You may get a kidney failure, or you may get a malfunction of the heart, or slowly the functions of the organs will be destroyed. So suppose this nadi is not functioning properly, what happens is these cells which are grouped together will not function properly, and in that way slowly what happens is it will start destroying the whole system. By destroying the whole system, one day it is also going to be destroyed. So why this cell is not getting the signal is because of the nadi is not functioning properly. Why this nadi is not functioning properly? Because it is not getting the signal from the chakras, because the malfunctioning or unalignment of the chakras, because of that the nadi is not functioning properly. Why these chakras is not functioning properly? Because it does not get proper signal from the pituitary gland or the master chakra. So that way, if any fault is happening, it's because of the dysfunctioning of the chakras and dysfunctioning of the nadis. So this is why everything falls under system, and one system is like collapsed and other things, everything has to be collapsed. So this does not happen in a single day. It is actually gradually. This is how we are getting the disease, like chronic disease, like we are getting cancers. All these things are formed because of the nadis and chakras, because of the cells are not receiving the signals properly. So now you would have understood how our human system is working. The same way, if you apply it to our world, if you see, even our world is functioning in a systematic manner. It has a system that each thing in this world, each living being in this world currently, if it present here, it has its own purpose to do in its life. Maybe the purpose may vary based on the different part of the world or different group it is in, but every living being has a purpose in this world. Definitely we all should know the purpose. But what happens is, because of the time cycle or some evolution, the purpose we have lost. Each human being has lost their purpose to function as a unity to this world, to function in a systematic way. So somewhere the signal is got cut. We have lost that signal. So because of that, what happened is, every human being has become unconscious about their purpose, and it is actually creating their own purpose. We forgot that we are actually working under a bigger system, for a bigger system, as a unity, as a globally we are working. We are actually forget that, because we lost the signals. Because of that, each human being became very greedy. He became so much of lustful, so much of accumulation is taking place, so destroying this world. We have become so much of selfish that we don't care about the other living beings in this world, the nature of this world. We are starting to destroy this world, actually concentrated only for our inner self, only for our pride, for our happiness. We actually falling into the fake happiness and fake satisfaction. We don't understand that we actually inside a system. By destroying this nature, or by working against the nature, what happens is, we are actually slowly destroying the world. We are actually slowly destroying the system. So in turn, what happens is, we are actually inside the system, like how the cell inside the system is becoming a cancerous cell. In the same way, we are all becoming like a cancerous cell in this world. We are not doing our purpose correctly. We are actually malfunctioning, because we have not got that signal or got that subconscious signal properly. So in that way, we are all becoming a cancerous cell, and we are destroying this world slowly. So we may think we may not exit, but slowly what happens is, since we are inside the system, the world, inside this world, one day we ourselves will get destroyed. So that what is happening right now. We can see that the world is shifting, because the nature has become so much of in destruction, because the effect is actually seen within us. So currently what happens is, we are actually getting the signal back. It is like there is some shift is happening all over the universe or all over the world. We are actually getting that signal back. So maybe like in the revolution, or in a bigger scale, like the whole solar system is coming to a place where there may be a place where there is less consciousness in the rotation or revolution, or there may be a place where when it comes nearer the consciousness, it gets the consciousness, and that's how the shift happens. So when this happens, what is actually happening is, we all getting that signal back. like the cell getting the signal from the nadi and chakras and pituitary gland, the same way how the pituitary gland gets the signal from outside. So the pituitary gland or the crown chakra, we get the signal from the world or the universe. So from cosmos we are actually getting the signal. So in the shift that the world is actually shifting towards a consciousness place, so that's why we all getting that signal back. So this signal is actually known as the spiritual awakening. So this signal is only, we are actually talking about the spiritual awakening. It takes some time, it happens in a time period. So it may take some years for the shift may happen to everyone to work under the system. In the Kali Yuga, maybe we lost the consciousness because of the place and revolution of the solar system. Because of that, in Kali Yuga, we have lost the consciousness. So, but when the again shift is happening, again it's moving to the consciousness place, we will all get that signal. When we get that signal, we'll understand that we are working under a system and there is a system we have to follow. Each person's purpose may be different. It may be in lower to higher level. Few people may be in just lower level. Few people may be working in global level. So, but whatever it is, each person must understand that this world itself, like a human body or human system, we are just a cell inside that, and we have to do our purpose to actually function in unity. Maybe we have diverged, but we have to function in unity. We are working towards the progress of this world, so the world becomes alive. So that's why the world has to become disease free, like cancerous free. So we all know that if the world does not get the consciousness, if we are not doing the consciousness properly, we ourselves getting the cancerous. So much of disease are occurring around the world. We are ourselves destroying ourselves because we are not getting that consciousness. Now the consciousness slowly we are getting back. So this is what known as the spiritual awakening. So this shift is happening and we all are experiencing that signal, that information, what we have to do. All this information we are getting from the cosmos. So this is how the spiritual awakening is happening. So currently right now we know that, so almost 2 years all this pandemic and this corona has kept us under control, and this pandemic, corona and spiritual awakening, it has so much of relationship between this. We can actually never actually separate this corona or spiritual awakening. Everything is happening simultaneously for a greater shift. And currently we know that again a great break is happening. So corona breakdown is happening right now in China. So again there may be a lockdown, so we cannot predict anything. So all these information, so what is happening to this world, why corona is coming, what is the relationship between corona and spiritual awakening, so all these I will explain in my next videos. It has so much of relationship between all these awakening because we are in a shift. So globally the shift is happening. So everything, even corona, pandemic, war, everything is a part of the shift. Each and everyone should change towards the shift. So till then all these things will actually continue. So how fast we are adapting to the shift, so that's how fast the world will get healed. The world is in a healing position, so that we need to cooperate towards this spiritual awakening and work towards a global purpose. So okay guys, now you would have understood that what and why spiritual awakening is happening. So it is very important to each and everyone to understand, to know our purpose. We all are living in this world for definitely for some purpose, for some global purpose. We are working towards a system. So everyone should know our purpose, because of that only spiritual awakening is happening. So okay guys, hope so you have enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching. So this is Shobna. Bye from Soulful Knowledge.